Yes. So the function f is defined as 2x plus 7 divided by 5. It says find the value. Remember, we're looking for keywords. Every time you say I didn't have enough time and so forth, keywords. It doesn't say calculate. It says find. So you do not have to do all of this. I do this so you can see what I'm doing. If it says find, all right, put in your calculator, you say F4 is this. Bam, there's the answer. 2 seconds. It says find, not calculate. Yes. It just saves you time. Remember, you have 2 hours, 40 minutes. So you have to notice keywords. Find, calculate, estimate. Yes, it doesn't say calculate everywhere. Yes, so how do you get to F4? You just replace the x with the 4. 2 times 4 plus 7 divided by 5. Answer is 3. Calculate it, bam, answer. And then you have certain people placed. This is an addition. The paper. Some of the papers did it as divided. If you did divide it, it's also fine. If you divide it, 3, here, this is the answer. 3 by the answer, your answer should have been negative 15. If you did that, also correct. Oh, sorry. This is F4 plus F minus 4. Yes. This one is F4 divided by F minus 4. Yes? If you just wrote F4 equals 3, F negative 4 equals this, and then place this as the answer, completely fine. Doesn't say calculate. Proceeding. Now, calculate. Now it comes. Calculate the value which fx equals 9. Remember, you have your function, 2x plus 7 divided by 5. Do not confuse this with this. Those two are completely different. F9 means x is 9. When it says fx equals 9 means the answer is 9. Do not confuse those two. Sorry? So, how do you go about it? Simple. Something divided by 5 is 9. Very simple. Something divided by 5 equals 9. How do you get to that answer? By multiplying the denominator and the answer. 45. And then you say, something, when I add 7 to that something, it equals 45. You subtract 7 from the answer, that's 38. You go again. 2 multiplied by an answer, by something, that equals 38. What do? 38 divided by 2, your answer is 19. You keep applying the same rules over and over again. B. Determine the value of f minus 1, 9. You only get 1 mark. Why? It is a trick question. If you already know fx equals 9, when you do the inverse, 9, you get the value of x. So if you make the inverse, this is the inverse, these are all these steps, and this becomes the inverse. There you have it. Yes, you did all the steps and you got to the inverse. And it says 9. Look at something so you don't miss it. I placed 9. Remember, x is actually y. Remember the inverse, x is actually y. What is my answer? 19. What is my answer at the previous one? 19. It's the same thing. They ask you the same thing twice. That's why you only get 1 point. If you noticed it, it's the same question but in reverse. They ask you, find x, and then they say, find the inverse, and then find x again with the exact same answer. So they ask you to do the same thing twice. Yes, trick question. Yes, you do not have to do all of this. Find the inverse. Because you would just state, well, if fx equals 9, if 9, comma, x is 19. So you could just write, so f minus 1, 9, also 19. It's the same thing. The exact same question. Since fx is 9 equals x is 19, while the inverse and the answer is also 9, my answer x should also be 19. If you wrote this, 1 point. Yes? You do not have to do all of this. These are the things you have to look out for, CSEC exam. Things you have to look out for. Because you have about 37, 35 pages, and you need to find the easiest way to get to the answer. Yes? Yes. B, linear equation. We've practiced this, if I'm not mistaken, 601 times, if not more. Finding the answer to a linear equation. Chapter 4. You have two straight lines, two linear equations. The question states, find the equation of L1. Which is L1? From left to right. This one, going down, downward slope. How do I find the linear equation? How do I begin? You have to find the gradient. M. How do you find M? Formula. y2 subtract y1 divided by x2 subtract y1. Some people switch them. Do not forget, obviously your answer will be wrong. It's not x divided by y, it's y divided by x. And what is y2 and what is y1 and x2 and so forth? You have to take two coordinates, any two, you decide. You can take this one as well, and that one, this one and this one. You decide which coordinates you want to take. The answer is always the same. I took 0, 2, this one, and 4, 0, that one. x1, y1, x2, y2. 0 minus 2 divided by 4 minus 0. Answer, minus a half. But that's not final. It says equation, not find the gradient. Equation. That's a big difference. So at 0, when x is 0, my answer is what? 2. There it is. So what is my equation? Y equals minus a half x plus 2. Chapter 9. The second one. If you used, some people, I'm not sure if it's in this class, used this formula to find the answer to this question. and you got it wrong. Why did you get it wrong? Do as if the line was not, or the line was not graphed like this. You had no line. So you could not use this formula. You could not use it because you have no graph. In this case, you have the graph, but they're not asking find L just like that. They're asking, since the one is perpendicular, what is the other one? That's what they're asking. And how do you know if they're perpendicular? Gradient of the one multiplied by the other gradient you do not know, the answer is always -1. So the first gradient was -1/2, multiplied by what is -1? Answer 2. Answer is 2. If you use this formula, you would have gotten the point. If not, you wouldn't get the point. Chapter 9. We're still in chapter 9. And we arrive at chapter 11. You're finding the median. The median of the seed, not the median of the students. You don't need the median of the students. So you have 100 students. There we go. Reading. Using the cumulative frequency. Using this. Estimate the median. So it's not perfect. Give an estimate, more or less. So what is the median? When you have an even number, you take half and you add 1 on top of it. So the 50th and the 51st person. The 50th, there we go, and the 51st person. What is their seed? If you got it correctly, your answer should have been somewhere near 3.2 and 3.3. Somewhere there in between. If you wrote the answer, let me see. I would give you the points, yes. Yes, I didn't give you the points? We will wait until the end, so I don't do every single thing. Mark it. Yes, in this scenario, if your answer would have been between 3.2 and 3.3, you would have gotten the points. So if you did not use the graph in this case, I would have awarded you the points. In test week, never forget, I will look at your exam as if you're making a CXC exam. Not, oh, maybe this, I didn't know, just wrong, done. Yes? Everything not in the test week, I'm gonna, it's okay. In the test week, I cannot do it. Yes? So, using the graph. So you have to draw the lines. Draw the lines. So they know, oh, you mean this. Answer should have been between 3.2 and 3.3. Upper quartile. What is the upper quartile? The 75th percentile of all the students. So you go to 75. Pop, go down. What does it say? Give an estimate between 4.2 and 4.4. Somewhere there. That was the answer. Semi-interquartile range. That is the upper minus the lower divided by 2. Upper subtract lower divided by 2. Now, if you notice, it gives 2 points, of course, because you need to figure out the lower one. And what is the lower one? The 25th person. So you go here in your graph, look at the 25th person, go down, that is at 2 point something. And if you do it correctly, your answer should be between 2.2 and 25th is at 2.2 and 2.4, somewhere there. And when you subtract and divide by 2, your answer should be around 0.9 to 1.1, somewhere there in between. Yes? We can definitely give, I might have to, if we finish, let me see, can we finish? No, we have 25 pages. We might finish. And if we might finish, we can do this practically with all your grades. I'm going to take all your grades, and then we can do all of this so you see practical what I mean when doing all of this. Number of students estimate is 2.8 grams or less. You go up. 2.8 grams. You look at the bottom. What is 2.8? There, purple line. Up, go there. How many students? That's technically exact 38. You can mark it. If your answer is somewhere between 38 and 40, mark it. I will give you additional points. Yes, the exact number is 38. If you look closely, it's 38 done. In this case, it's fine. Remember, certain things, if it does not surpass the line, do not give an estimate. Yes, take your time when doing chapter 11. Take your time. Every point counts. Using the cumulative frequency, 0 to 2 is 20. 2 to 4 is what? What do you do? 0 to 4. That's 4 here. If you look closely at 4, this is 4. It is not 70. Look closely. Do not give an estimate. Look closely. It's here in the middle. It's not at 70, so it's 69. So by definition, the answer should be 69. If you have 70, I will give you the points. So if here you have between, let's say 48, between 48 and 50, mark it, I'll give you the points. Remember in the test week, there is no if. That is the answer. Done. 4 to 6. 4 to 6. 6. If you look at 6 again, there it is, half. So it's at 90 to 3. It's at 93. So 93 subtract that 69. Your answer should be somewhere around, it should be 24. The answer should be 24. That is the correct answer. If you had anywhere between, 23 to 25, I shall give you the points. At certain people, they might have noticed. Remember, if you count everything, the answer should be 100. So some people just place numbers and it's above or more than 100. In a CXC exam, if your answers are more than 100, none are correct because they're supposed to be 100. Yes? None are correct. It's supposed to be 100 total because we're talking about 100 students. A student chosen at random, find the probability mass is greater than 6. You can find the answer two ways. Just looking at the table here. These two are greater than 6. So what is your answer? 7. P is larger than 6 grams. Answer is 7 over 100. That's it, done. This is fixed. As you notice, these two numbers are fixed. It's fixed. You cannot say, well, it's 5, it cannot be. Here, 7. So this is the probability. Do not forget, in the exam, do not write a fraction only. You have to write either the probability equals that or this. Well, not exactly, this is Cape level, but more than 6 grams. Yes? More than 6 grams. Yes? Do not only write a fraction. 2 marks. All right, this is the easiest one. Again, if it says show, do not use the answer. Show, do not use the answer to start with. You work your calculations and then you get to the answer, which is here. If you start with the answer, it's wrong. So, the length from W to X is what? The radius is 7, so I have a diameter of 14, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, meaning 14 centimeters times 4, that equals correct 56 square centimeters. The length of XY or YZ, where you want to do it, Z, you have 14 is the diameter. You have 1, 2, 3 circles. That means 14 centimeters multiplied by 3. This equals 42 centimeters squared. And then the area, oops, of WXYZ equals 56 square centimeters multiplied by 42 square centimeters, and that answer, if done correctly, gives the answer. 42. What is 42? You have to show. So after you do your calculations, this should be your answer. All right. The next one. I think only one person, I think it was in the other class, did it the same way as I would have done it. He literally drew what he was supposed to do. So he said, I have all of this. In order to get the shaded region, he literally drew this on his exam, which I also do. If I subtract the area of the circles, my answer is everything else. Yes? This is my answer. Oh, one more. That is my answer. So what do I have to do? Okay. I need the area of everything, which you just calculated, which is 2352. Subtract what? The area of all the circles. So the first step is, what is the area of a circle? Remember, take pi to be this answer. How do you do it in your calculator? Put brackets. So the area of a circle, or let me place all the circles. Some people only used one. Is the radius was 7 squared multiplied by 22 over 7. In your calculator you do this, place brackets. Multiplied by the quantity of circles, which is 12 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, multiplied by 12. And if done correctly, I forgot my paper in the office. Your answer is 1,842 square centimeters, which comes here. And then your answer becomes, subtracting them from each other, and your answer becomes 504 square centimeters. Oh, it's 48. Sorry. Yes. Continuing, 3 marks. State the type of triangle shown below. Some of the answers that I received, I shall leave no comment. Isosceles triangle. How do I know it's isosceles? Both sides, same angle. And of course, most of the time, if you had the first one wrong, the chances that the other was wrong, great. Determine the value of P and M. If you find P and M, that means they want the angle of the letter in the middle. They want the angle of N, Nico. So it's 180 degrees, subtract 52 minus 52, oh sorry, add 52. And your answer, if done correctly, should have been, what is this? 106. No, wait. It's 76, yes. Degrees. Calculate the area of triangle MNP. You could have done this a number of ways. In the other class, some people use the sine rule, others use the cosine rule, others use SOHCAHTOA. The possibilities were endless in getting to the answer. The first thing you need to know is the area of a triangle is a half times base times height. So this could be the base and this is the height. Now, on your test, this has not been shown to you ever. So every time there is an area of a triangle, now you will get something added for you to get the area. On the page of all the equations. Here, area of triangles. As you see, there are plenty. If you use this one, you would have gotten to the answer as well. A half AB sinus C. Now what is A and B and what is sinus of C? Let's go back. Sorry? Yes, but it has to be specific. You have to specifically know which. All right. It all depends how you want to do it. You can use that formula in 3 different ways with this triangle. This is A or B, and this is B. You take the sinus of this angle. Yes? Sinus of that angle. All right, you can do it another way. This is A, this is B, and this is the sinus of C. Or another way, which gets the same answer. This is A, this side is B, and the sinus of this side. So it's always 2 lengths joining each other and the sinus of the angle in between. So if you do a half multiplied by 12.5 multiplied by 12.5 multiplied by the sinus of 76, your answer multiplied by 0.5 your answer would have been 75.8 square centimeters. If you did it any other way, the answer would have also been 75.8 square centimeters. Yes, area of a triangle. You can find this a lot in exams, a lot in CXC exams. Chapter 5, my favorite one, chapter 5. So, I received this table in front of me. The first thing I noticed, add 12 every time. The first thing I noticed. So by 5, most likely, I have to add 5. So this becomes 60. Most likely I have to add 5, so that is 60. All right, 1 point. Sorry? Oh, sorry, at 12. At 12, so the answer is 60. On the other side, I noticed it's also at 12. So if something happens twice or more, it's a pattern. Meaning 49 at 12, 61. Different ways of doing it, also fine. Now, instead of going to find these two answers, what I always do in these types of exams, you can do that. Instead of going for the answer, these two, always remember you always have to find the end. So what do? I invest all my time in this first. I don't do this. I go for the end immediately. I take about 3 to 5 minutes for the end. If I don't find the end, I go for these two answers. But as soon as I see I have to find the end, I go for the end immediately. Take all your time in finding the end. Why? Because 99% of the time, the following questions have to do with the end. So you need it. Spend all your time finding the end. So I find the end immediately. What do I notice? The first one, if I multiply with 12, that is the answer. If I multiply with 12, oh, so that means it's the n multiplied by 12. All right, boom, I got the n. That's what I noticed. Number of dots. Remember, certain people use this. Do not use this answer. You have to use n continuously. It's not s plus, no, it's n. It's always n. So do not use S, T, F, whatever letter is in the middle. Always use the N. All right, so I'm at the end. How do I get to the dots? I have the sticks. How do I get to the dots? I notice, all right, once I multiply with 12, I add 1. Okay? I have 24. What do I notice? Add 1. 36, add 1. So, what did I notice? It's n multiplied by 12, and then I add 1. So I invested my time in this. What do? Immediately find these two. How do I go to the end? I divide by 12, and then your answer should have been 13. Since I have the nth term, how do I get to the answer? 12 multiplied by 13, add 1. Or you add 1 from 156, comes 157. 6 points. Now, determine the total number of dots in what? Figure 7 and 8. If you have the nth term, easy. Because figure 7, you already have the nth term. What is it? It's 7 multiplied by 12, add 1. The 8th term, 8 multiplied by 12, add 1. The 7th term becomes 85. The 8th term becomes, this is 97. You add 85 with 97, and your answer becomes 182 dots. Done. That is your answer. All right. This one was a tricky one. have the answer. What answer? I have one of the answers, which is the n term. So figure n and n plus 1. They wanted to challenge you to see if you could understand this question. How many dots does the nth term have? The nth term has n multiplied, or let's put it like this. It's 12n plus 1. That's the nth term. The n plus 1 term, that means if I have n plus 1 and I'll take n as 1, that means n plus 1 is 2. No, because your answer becomes 25 plus 14, something like that. Your answer becomes. So the n plus 1 term, how many dots does that have? That is the number of dots after the 1. So let's say you take 1 for the end. If the end was 1, how many dots would you have? 13. Is this on focus? Yes, it is. No, it should be on work. 13. The n plus 1 is supposed to be what? 2. How many dots does 2 have? 25. So the question is n plus 1. So you know the answer, when you place 1, the answer should come out 25. Yes? If I place 1 there, my answer should be 25. What do I need to do in order to get 25 as the answer? I already have n plus 1. So I need to do something in order for my answer to be 25. I already have 13. What do I need to do for my answer to become 25? You have. Remember, when I place n, when I do this, my answer should be 25. What is missing in here for my answer to be 25? 12, correct. I'm missing 12 because from 1 to 2, answer is added with 12. So n plus 1 equals 12n plus 1 plus 12. So what is the n plus 1 term? 12n plus 13. That is the n plus 1 term. 12n plus 13. And what are they saying? Add n plus n plus 1. So what do you need to do? Just add them together. 12n plus 1 plus 12n plus 13. That's what you need to do. And count them together. What does it become? 24n plus 14. That's your answer. That's it. That's your answer. 24n plus 14. Yes? CXC exam. You have to know the book from cover to cover. Cover to cover. Almost done. Solve the pair of simultaneous equations. I looked at some very weird stuff. Students, if this is x, substitution, this goes there, done. y squared plus 2y plus 11 equals 5 minus 3y. Is equals x, and x is that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, really? It's literally written there. It equals x, and x is this. So, what do you have to do then? Chapter 15/16. Equals 0. This is negative, so it becomes positive. Plus, what is it? 5y minus 6 equals 0. That looks very, very, very familiar. What do I have to do? Factorize. Two numbers multiplied with each other equals negative 6. Two numbers added with each other, positive 5. Y. Let's see. 2 and 3. 2 and 3, 6 and 1. It looks like 6 and 1. Plus 6, minus 1. Plus 6 minus 1. That is the answer. So, y equals negative 6, or y equals 1. Are you done? Of course not. You're still missing x. And how do you find x? Taking this answer or that answer and placing it in the easiest one I can find, that one. 5 minus 3y. So, I place my y in there. X equals 5 minus 3 multiplied by minus 6. So x equals 5 plus 18. X equals 23. That's one answer. And then you still have the other one. X equals 5 minus 3 multiplied by 1. So x equals 5 minus 3. X is 2. So x is either 23 or 2. Most of you did not even find you had to place this there using substitution. That would have given you 1 point, just doing that. You have the knowledge and the comprehension to know, oh, that has to go there. 1 point. 1 point. Next one. This one we practiced a lot. Oh wait, this is 21? Yes, 21. We practiced a lot. What is this one called? Completing the square. Of course, it's not going to tell you complete the square. Completing the square. So, what are you supposed to do? Complete the square, that is correct. So if you take 4 out of the bracket, you take it out, what do you have? X squared x squared minus 2x divided by a half. Are you done? Of course not. On the inside, what do you have on the inside? Remember, you have to take half of this one, subtract it, x, well, let me use two brackets, different colored ones. X minus what? Half of 2 is 1 squared. Minus 1 squared is 1. So you subtract that 1 again. And what do? Add that negative half to it again. If you continue, like this. So this is your answer. What you have here is what you have here. The same thing. See, I'm missing an answer. If I multiply with 4, I take the 4 out. I'm debating between this answer and if I continue. If I continue, it's times 4, 6. I'm debating in these two answers. Wait, 4. Still 4. Yes, no, this is the answer. This is the answer. So after you've gotten this part, this is the final answer. You have to multiply 4 with negative a half, so only 4 has to be multiplied with x minus 1. So this is the final answer. Find the minimum value of fx. Wow. You practiced this. 1 mark. You can just write it. What is the minimum value of fx? Fx represents y. What is the minimum y value of this function? That's it. There it is. It's written there. Minus 6. Determine the equation of the axis of symmetry. What is the axis of symmetry? When you have the lowest mark, the one in the middle, the x value is the axis of symmetry, which you already have, which is where? Here. Whatever is negative in the brackets means it's positive outside of the brackets. Where is it? X is 1. That's the answer. 1 mark, 1 mark. All right, circle theorems. Class 4A's favorite. Circle theorems. Wow. So here I saw some answers that I think I have to leave no comment with. BC, students. BC, chord. That's a chord. That's it. Chord, done. AO. This is a circle. From the center to the edge of the circle is called a radius. Radius. That's it. I saw some very weird names being written, and I don't understand why. Look at that. 2 points for not doing anything, just naming things. Yes, I remember that tangent. I haven't taught that to you yet. The tangent of a line is a straight line. This is a tangent. That line is a tangent. That's a tangent. I didn't teach you that yet. That is 16.3 if I'm not mistaken. Then you learn the tangent. Determine the value of each of the following angles. Support your answer. All right. Look at this easiness. If this is a radius, wait 1 second. That is the same length. And when this is the same length and that is the same length, I can assume that this triangle is a isosceles triangle. So if this A is 37, that means that B is also 37. (180 from 74), correct. So, how do you put it in writing? Remember, this is 2 marks. If your answer does not match your reason, it's 0 marks. So you have triangle AOB. Is isosceles. So angle of A equals angle of B, which is what? 37. That's all you have to write, because that's all you need to know. Oh, it's an isosceles, so you understand. All right, then you go to your explanation. 180 degrees, subtract 37 with 37 degrees. And the angle of X, what is 74? It's 74, 106 degrees. That's your answer. All right, 23, nearing the end. Clock's time. You see, you only have 5 minutes. It's clock's time. Yes? So, BCD, an angle that passes through the middle, which is half of the semicircle, means the end is 90 degrees. You had the book, you could have just went in it. Let me place it. It's this one. Where is it? Here. Here it is. There it is. Yes? The angle in my semicircle is 90 degrees. Here we are. Open the book. Here it is. So what do you write? Literally that. Angle in a semicircle equals 90 degrees. So angle C equals 90 degrees. And then you go back. There we go. 180 degrees. Subtract 90 degrees with 49. This is 139. So this equals 41. 41 degrees. Remember, the circle not drawn to scale. So do not look at, oh, it looks like an isosceles. It looks like 90 degrees. It looks not drawn to scale. All right, my favorite one. Calculate, keyword calculate. So don't place the answers, don't place random numbers left and right. Calculate, show what you're doing, show. All right, the first thing I notice is I have 2 arrows pointing north and with a line touching both of them. So I remember this strange mathematics teacher that I dislike showed me something that I can draw lines in an equation and I can replace them and place them on the other side. Whoa. And I remember that same teacher told me that a stretched line equals 180 degrees. So if this part is 133, the other side is 180, subtract 33, which equals 47 degrees. If that one is 47, that means this one is 47. And a stretched line equals 180 degrees. And I have 2 of them. So the angle of W is 180 degrees. Subtract 47 and subtract 56. So this angle is 180, subtract, this is 90, 103. So the angle is 77 degrees. W, 77 degrees. Wow. The last 2 determine the bearing of P from Q. So you are standing at Q and you need a bearing that goes to P. Guess what? You already have 180. You already have that. Even without W, you could have gotten the answer. If you know this is 47, an entire circle, 360 degrees. I only have to subtract 47, and that is the bearing. 360 degrees, subtract 47 degrees, and the bearing is 313. Wow, we love mathematics. So easy. It's so simple. As long as you practice. Yes? calculate the distance of RP. There is only one way to find. Wait, not one way. 1 second. One way to find the answer, which is the cosine rule. Done. Use the cosine rule, you get to the answer. Teacher, what is the cosine rule? It's written on the front page of your test. Correct. So RP squared equals 290 squared plus 210 squared, subtracting 2 multiplied by 290 multiplied by 210 multiplied by the cosinus of 56. If done correctly, your answer minus 290 cosinus 56. RP squared would have been 60,090 and something. So how do you get to RP? Correct. You take the square root of that answer. And your answer becomes 200 something, 245. $245, 245.13. It doesn't state anything, so you can decide your answer. 1 decimal, 2 decimals, no decimals. It's up to you. And then the distance, 1 second. If you place 245, wait, that's not the answer. The distance is, that is the answer. Not 245. 245 what? Cows? Wow. Look at that. We did this in 45 minutes. If we can do this in 45 minutes, you can also do it in 45 minutes.
It's 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yes, wait a few minutes, and then I shall attend the points thing.
Yes, Theo. Some minutes, no much minutes. Right,